Street Fighter 6 is approaching us. Pretty soon we will be able to get our hands on it and play it, and it is bringing a lot of changes to the basic Street Fighter formula, from the rushdown, like most of the moves being negative on block, to the fireball game and how there is a tier system within the fireball game. You may agree or disagree with some of the changes that Capcom have taken, but if there is one thing the entire community has agreed on, it's this.
Wow! Wow.
Oh my god, that's from a command grab?
Bro, why does the grabs do mad damage?
Yes, obviously most of the command grabs in Street Fighter 6 deals massive damage, and we have seen enough characters with enough command grabs to figure out that this is not a one-off, this is not specific to Zangief and his spinning ball driver or something like this, it's a system-wide design direction. Ever since Street Fighter V, Capcom have decided to make command grabs much more risky. This was done in part due to Street Fighter V, at least initially, limited defensive options. So what they did is that they made all of the command grabs have 60 frames of recovery on whiff, and this is substantial because it allows you to do this. This meant that in Street Fighter V, command grabs were an extremely high risk option, because on whiff, if the opponent decided to jump or even backdash, you're still getting massively punished. But obviously in Street Fighter V as well, they were rewarding for the most part because you get incredible OK opportunities out of them. But obviously with time and the introduction of V-Shift to Street Fighter V, this have severely limited the potential of command grabs in that game, because there is now an added layer to them and the risk reward in general was much more skewed against the grappler characters. And this brings us to Street Fighter 6, because in Street Fighter 6, Capcom have made a very conscious choice to force OK through Drive Rush. You need to use Drive Rush to have plus frames and be able to really press the opponent on wake up. So this will follow with grapplers as well, right? Command grabs have to follow the same rules. You wanna OK, you wanna be able to press the opponent after, will better use Drive Rush, and that's why in most of the grabs that we see in Street Fighter 6, we will see a big separation after the command grab have landed. They are forcing you to use Drive Rush. This means that in general command grabs got nerfed, because for the most part the most command grab OK will require you to use meter. Another layer that you have to consider when it comes to Street Fighter 6 is that in this game everyone starts a round with full meter, full drive meter. This means that your opponent pretty much has 3 EX reversal during round start fight, which is detrimental to the characters who wanna get in, mix you up and command grab you.
This is your last ride. Let's go.
Then you kinda have to consider the other options as well, like most of the normals being negative on block, which mean weaker tech throws for the grapplers in general, and the fact that there are level 1 supers which are wake up options, they are invincible, so this means that the opponent, the defender, actually have a lot of options against command grabs in Street Fighter 6. And one final factor that is really big for grapplers is the fact that regular throws now have a lot more recovery on whiff. And you might be wondering, well Mura, like why is this a detriment to grapplers? Well, it's because grapplers were able to go for regular grabs and most likely punish the opponent if they try to jump guessing that the command grab was coming. Now in Street Fighter 6, regular grabs have way more recovery on whiff, so this will become less of a viable option. Now, one thing that a lot of people will point to is the fact that there is Drive Rush in the game. Everyone is worried about the grapplers being able to Drive Rush into command grabs, but I honestly imagine that this will be as reactable as grapplers doing dash up command grab in Street Fighter V. I imagine you will be able to deal with them, at least with some practice. And with all of that being said, command grabs are looking kinda weak. So to combat this, what Capcom is doing is that they're really buffing up the command grab damage. Currently in Street Fighter 6, command grabs, at least meterless one, are doing more damage than most of the metered combos in the game. So what this is telling me is that Capcom is moving command grabs away from being a vortex tool and something that is like a looping mix-up into a high risk, high reward 50-50 option. You may need to use Drive Rush to be able to set up the situation, and maybe you will need to use Drive Rush as well just to follow up on that situation into more mix-ups. But now you are likely to do as much damage with the right guess on the command grab as you would take if you have guessed wrong and the opponent guessed right and gotten the punish on you, which is certainly an interesting philosophy when it comes to this game. I'm really looking forward to how grapplers will function in general. Will they be able to survive against characters like Guile? How will Drive Impact change all of this? And how will they fare against parries? Because parries are also a big kind of part of the equation that you have to worry about. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment, it helps the channel so much. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.